Hey everyone, we all know that a great education system is built on one thing: great teachers. But what happens when the very system designed to create those teachers is, well, fundamentally broken? That's exactly what we're digging into today.
So, imagine this. You've got the blueprint for a revolutionary new skyscraper. It's ambitious, it's visionary, but there's a catch. You're planning to build it on a foundation that's already full of cracks. That's pretty much the dilemma facing India's massive education reform right now.
And it all starts with a plan that, look, on paper, is incredibly promising. It's a bold new vision for what teachers in India can and should be. It's called the National Education Policy, or NEP 2020. And we're not talking about some minor update here. This is supposed to be a total overhaul with a really sharp focus on completely changing how we train our next generation of educators.
Now, at the heart of this whole transformation is a new program, the Integrated Teacher Education Program, or ITEP for short. This 4-year course is meant to be the new gold standard, the single best way for anyone who wants to become a teacher. Think of it as the engine that's supposed to power this entire reform.
But this is where that huge, grand vision slams right into a really harsh reality. Let's take a look at the cracks that are starting to show up in the very foundation of this whole plan.
A recent analysis really flags a serious problem, and it uses this powerful phrase, critical structural deficiencies. And get this, these huge flaws aren't in the policy itself, but in the actual institutions that are supposed to make it happen. In other words, the system seems totally unprepared for the very change it's supposed to lead. And here's the first major crack: 30%. That's right, nearly a third of all faculty positions in the key district-level training institutes are just empty. It really makes you ask a pretty basic question: how can you possibly train the next generation of teachers when you don't even have enough trainers?
And it's not just one thing, it's a perfect storm. You've got those empty faculty jobs we just saw. On top of that, the curriculum that is being taught is completely outdated, totally out of sync with the new policy's goals. And to cap it all off, the state body that's meant to enforce all these changes, it doesn't have the actual authority to do it. It's a systemic breakdown, from the top all the way to the bottom.
So these big, high-level problems don't just stay on a spreadsheet. They cascade all the way down and have very real consequences, especially for the youngest, most vulnerable students in the entire system.
And this is really where the damage is done. These institutional failures directly weaken the quality of teachers at the foundational stage. We're talking about the educators who shape a child's very first and most crucial experiences with school.
I mean, just look at the massive gap between the goal and the reality. The policy imagines teachers who are skilled in modern play-based methods and can teach in multiple languages. But the system is still producing educators trained on outdated material, which leaves them totally unprepared to meet these new expectations.
And so, you get this domino effect. First, the systemic weaknesses mean the new ITEP program just can't be implemented properly. That, in turn, means foundational teachers aren't getting the skills they desperately need. And the final domino to fall? The quality of early education itself, putting the entire goal of the reform at risk. So, okay, we've talked a lot about policy and systems and jargon, but why does this actually matter to you? Let's connect these dots right back to the classroom.
The core finding couldn't be clearer. This is not just some bureaucratic issue. As the report says, this systemic gap is a direct threat to the quality of teaching that our youngest children receive. It's a straight line from one problem to the other.
Because at the end of the day, the success of any education system, for any generation, it all begins with one thing: a well-prepared, well-supported teacher. And if the system that creates those teachers is flawed, then the very foundation of learning for millions of children is flawed too.
This leaves us with a really critical question. We've got a visionary policy, but a policy is only as strong as the system that implements it. So the real challenge isn't just about the vision, it's this: how do you fix the foundation before you try to build a skyscraper on top of it?